We control the horizontal. We control the vertical. We control the hue and the contrast. You have now entered a zone. Not just any zone, but the carbonation zone. Sit back and prepare to reach the outer limits.
Yo, this is Lordship, and we're gonna look at some dinosaur members. They former or current or connected, or they can't make up their mind. But her story is tragic. Serenity, and I think Serenity got about 6 years on Rambo. So check this out. They were homeless in Hawaii. They had to escape Palenque, Mexico. Serenity was emaciated. She almost lost her baby. They tried to have the baby in the backyard, etc., etc. So forget what she's saying, but they're going to try it.
Today, we decided to come on here and share our perspective, our wisdom, and just our experience with carbonation. And this is something that I have been reluctant to do because whenever you mention carbonation, like you get everybody and their mama, and I really allow people and their judgments to keep me from speaking about things that I observed, but not today. And today I have my lovely partner and man, Wild Kettle, with me today because he is also a part of this journey, and we just want to share.
Yeah.
So
you want to start?
Yeah. Well, I just want to make sure that I'm allowing space for the conversation to flow. You know how I am. Okay. So what brought this on for me was, one, there's a lot of stuff going on with carbonation, and I'm only really speaking to those that know what we're talking about. So I have a lot of followers that don't know what I'm talking about, and I'm not going to give you the backstory of who they are and what it's about. But if you just want to hear us talk and share, you're more than welcome. But what brought this on is that obviously there are things going on with the group. They pretty much broken up, majority of them, because the leader, Nature Boy, is in jail now. And he has been accused of doing things that, put him there. And another thing that also made me decide that I wanted to talk about this is because of what's currently going on in my life and the things that I am experiencing. And it's that I found that I really suppress myself because I sometimes I care about what people think of me. And yes, I still do. And I don't like the way that feels, and I don't want to suppress myself based on somebody else's perspective. And we were a part of this group a while ago. Back in 2018 is when we left. We were a part of it. And some people, sometimes when I talk about it, they'll be like, why is she talking about it? She ain't relevant. But I still see people talking that was never there, and they're just basing their own little opinion about what they see on the internet. So even though I have left that group, I'm still a part of it. Ketzels, we're still a part of it. And that was an experience that we have. And we know that as long as we're on the internet, we're always going to be attached to it in some way. But today, we really wanted to talk to the members and the ex-members there to share our experience, our wisdom, and support in any way that we can, because we're not on anyone's side. We're pretty much neutral. And did you want to start?
Yeah, so, I mean, I guess, when you said, like, there's people that follow you that don't know about what it is that you're going through, like,
yeah,
I feel like this topic goes way deeper than most people, give it credit for. And so I think that at some level, a lot of people can resonate with all the things that we're going to talk about, because what I realize is that people take things very personal. So even with this situation, like, they get wrapped up in the characters, and they don't necessarily get the message. They don't necessarily get the experience and what that was there to teach them. So people get so polarized. They're either like, oh, against this character or for this character, but what about the individual journey? What about yourself and what you've learned throughout the process? So, yeah, I mean, you know, for us, that was an experience where we met, and that was, it was a very interesting time, you know, and I think that we were both like on the spiritual journey, looking for something, looking for reason, for purpose, like looking for some sort of aligned philosophy that we could embody, you know. And so we both ended up there, you know.
Yeah.
And so, you know, throughout the time there, you know, there was obviously things that I didn't agree with, and I didn't always voice the things that I didn't agree with, but there were some times where I did voice the things that I didn't agree with, and there were some times where I was not in alignment. I was ready to go because I didn't want to be in an environment where things that I didn't agree with were happening.
So what made you decide to go there? What was your reason for going to Carbonation initially?
I think I was looking for somewhere to go. I think I felt like the world that I was in wasn't familiar anymore. I felt like the people I was around didn't understand me. I felt like the life that I was living wasn't the life that I wanted to live, and I wanted and I desired for a place where I could go to express who I truly am and what I truly value. And so I reached out to different people that I watched online, and Nature Boy was the only one who responded back immediately.
Really?
And at the time, like, just the way I move, like, I always try to make sure that anywhere I go, like, I'm of value, or there's a reason for me going. Like, I don't want to just go and be, you know, just eating up the food and just hanging around and not offering anything. So at that time, they had lost their interpreter and their producer.
Yeah.
So, you know, and they were in Costa Rica. So that's when I looked at it as an opportunity. Well, there's something I could offer. So if I go there, I can provide something. You know, I might not have a lot of resources at that time, but I had skills and I had, you know, the language. So I could provide that. So that's when I decided to reach out to him. You know, so all those things aligned at that time. But I think if that wouldn't open, I don't know if I would have reached out to him, because I needed a particular reason for me personally to be able to fit into the equation.
Yeah,
you know?
and so mainly your point was to be a part of the community and share your resources and what you had with that community.
Right. Yeah. I just wanted to be with like-minded people where we could grow together and basically hold each other to a certain standard and create an environment for growth and development.
Yeah, and the reason why I have initially went was because I was my health wasn't doing so well, and so when I realized that my environment, the food I was eating, the people I was around, what was making me sick, that's when I knew I needed to change. That's when I was like, I need to go to the tropics. Mm-hmm. Now, I wasn't initially thinking about going there because who does that? Like, I was like, who would just reach out to somebody like, hey, can I come to your house? Like, I don't know you, but can I never did that. Mm-hmm. But I did reach out to him because of his teachings and just what he was talking about. It really resonated, and I was just reaching out because I wanted to learn. And at that time, he was looking to have wives. And so as we would continue to talk, he had asked me, you know, would you like to be my wife? And he was like, you could come here and, you know, we're going to change the world, and you could be in nature, and you have to leave Babylon, leave the place that is killing you. Yeah. And so I was like, okay, like, you know, so that's why I left. So as you can just see with Quetzal and me, we had two different intentions as to why we went to Carbonation. So just imagine everyone that has came there and left, what their intentions was. Now, we did not know what we was getting ourselves into, and it didn't matter because we were focused on our own desire. We were focused on our own intentions of going there. Mm-hmm. And so when we got there, our bubbles busted because it was not what we thought it was, you know? Yeah,
we were projecting what we wanted it to be, but we didn't really understand what it truly was. And even when we were confronted, it was hard to really accept it just for what it is, you know? And even people still today, they still try to make Nature Boy in that situation be something that it wasn't.
Ain't too much that I haven't did except walk across the desert to a pyramid. get away, huh, from the crazy things. Just look.